I'd like to welcome you all to Q City World, and today we'll be giving a post-fight review. This one right here is the review. The other shit was the reaction. That's how I felt yesterday. Today I sat back and watched it, looked at the fight, and this is what I think. Now, first round went exactly like I thought it would go. You know, exactly the fill-out round. But the second round, RIGONDEAUXS claims that he broke his hand in the second round. So I watched the second round real close. And after about a minute into the second round, probably a minute and a half into the second round, RIGONDEAUXS completely stopped that left hand. Completely. I mean, it was nowhere in America. You couldn't find that left hand if you were looking for it. I mean, could it be the real reason that RIGONDEAUXS quit? You know what I mean? I hear people saying, it's fighters that keep on fighting and keep on going, even with hand injury, arm injuries. Even Lomachenko said that he don't know if Rigo really got hurt. But he said one thing he do know, that if it was him, he would have kept going. But at the same time, Lomachenko was way bigger than RIGONDEAUXS, and he was swarming RIGONDEAUXS. So, and plus, Lomachenko is elite. You feel me? Any advantage is an advantage. That boy Bob Arum had me crying laughing. That boy said, what'd he do? Hurt his hand in the locker room? I didn't even see him throw it right, land the right hand. I was like, that boy Bob. Bob did a good job at promoting. His energy was up. I mean, he was like a 40-year-old promoter, man. The boy had his energy. He was talking. He was talking about future fights. He was bragging about his fighter. That's what a promoter supposed to do. Bob Arum said, Terrence Crawford is great. You know, Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. But Lomachenko is a superhuman. Bob started talking crazy. He said Lomachenko would destroy Mikey Garcia. He said he'd make Mikey Garcia no mas. He said he can't see nobody beating Lomachenko at the 135 division. That's known the 130 division. Lomachenko was real humble. He said, this is not the best fight or my biggest fight. He said, because the guy was not in my weight class, he was too small. You know, I understand that. But I still do believe that the fight would have been closer if RIGONDEAUXS wouldn't have hurt his hand. But at the same time, I'm a little confused because when RIGONDEAUXS quit, his trainer started taking the tape off his right hand. You feel me? So it could be an excuse. I would like to see some x-rays as soon as possible. I mean, Lomachenko is out of control. I mean, he makes fighters quit. No mas Lomachenko. What did they say? What his name is? He said, no mas Checo. No mas Checo. I mean, he make fighters really quit. And these are some elite fighters. The only fighter I know that make elite fighters quit was Sugar Ray when he did Duran. And I wasn't even born, or I don't even remember that fight. I just seen highlights of that fight. But that's the only person I really remember making people just a major star quit like that was when Duran quit. But RIGONDEAUXS' hand really was hurt. I mean, it's a excuse to quit if he knew he had no chance of winning. His left hand was everything. You know what I mean? That's his nullifier. That's how he keep Lomachenko off of him, was with the left hand. And if that left hand wasn't working, which seemed to not be working because it seemed like he stuck him all the way depending on the jab. All he was doing was his right jab and ducking down and holding. Something was wrong. And if you're a real RIGONDEAUXS fan, you'll be like, why he's not throwing that right hand? And it was times he could have threw it. So I kind of believe, I'm like at a 50-50 on whether I believe his hand really got hurt or not. But if his hand did get hurt, I mean, that would have been a whole totally different fight. I'm not saying that he would have beat Lomachenko, but it would have been a lot closer. I mean, I don't want to be like Manny Pacquiao and his fans taking a victory away by saying my shoulder hurt or my hand hurt. You feel me? That really was disrespectful because, you know, Pacquiao never showed x-rays or anything proving that his shoulder was messed up. You know what I mean? So it took a little shine away from Floyd Mayweather, made it a little bit more controversial. So I promise not to do that. You know, Rigondeaux, when I did watch the fight over, I watched the second round. In the middle of the second round, he did stop throwing that right hand. I mean, for real, he really did stop throwing it. You can watch it yourself and you make the decision. But we do need x-rays and we need to see a cast on that damn hand for us to believe it. But no excuses, no excuses, no excuses. Until we get the x-rays, no excuses. Now, Mikey Garcia talk, you know, I think Bob Arum was a little, I don't know, sarcastic when he said that he'd make Mikey Garcia quit. I believe Mikey Garcia would at least go 12 rounds because how his defense is so tight and he got enough power and he's big enough to keep Lomachenko respecting his power. But at the end of the day, that would be an excellent fight. That's the next big fight for Lomachenko, whether it be next year or the year after. I would like to see him move to 135 after unifying the belts at 130. I didn't know Tevin Farmer lost. I was watching Tevin Farmer fight, and I didn't even watch the judges, man. I just figured he won. I was like, dude, I looked at the scorecards. It was like a blowout, and they said he lost. So I don't know what Tevin Farmer gonna do, and I don't even think Tevin Farmer want to fight Lomachenko simply because he said he sparred with him, so he know how good Lomachenko is. I don't think that fight will happen. Tank Davis, it could happen, but you haven't seen Floyd even comment about the Rigondeaux fight. And it ain't like haven't been on social media. Floyd been on social media promoting the Oscar De La Hoya fight and all that, but he ain't said nothing about who he think will win this Lomachenko fight or give his thoughts on this fight. Because he knows that giving your thoughts on this fight, people gonna ask him about Tank Davis, so he's not even trying to promote the fight or even mention Lomachenko's name. But at the end of the day, that is who everybody is thinking about right now. Tank, what are you gonna do? What are you thinking? Is you gonna fight this man, or are you gonna say maybe 30? If he, you know how Tank be talking, man. But I don't think this man is better than Terrence Crawford, you know. But hey, at 135, him and Terrence Crawford met up at 135. Terrence Crawford would be way bigger than him. It'll almost look like Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux. One thing about Lomachenko is he's down to earth. He even said Bob Arum is being a little sarcastic, acting like I'm going to go up to 135 and make fighters no mas. He said that's hey, Bob is a little crazy, you know what I mean? But I feel him though. And that's how you got to be. You got to be a little humble, but at the same time, if you want to be compared to pound for pound number one, you know, you're going to have to go up and get some competition right now. It looks like that weight class don't hold enough power or enough competition for you to get the big money fights that you're looking for. You're going to have to go to 135. I mean, could you imagine Lomachenko versus Robert Easter Jr.? You feel me? Could you imagine Lomachenko at his first warm-up fight at 135 against Ngannou? You feel me? That'd be a good fight. I mean, you got Devin Haney coming up to the 135 division. I think Tank Davis is eventually going to be a 135 pounder. So the 135 division is where it's at, and that's where you're going to make your money. I don't think it's going to be as easy as you're not going to be able to play around with the 135 division because there's going to be power behind those punches. And the Orlando's Toledo fight is over with. You know, I don't think that fight going to happen because Orlando Toledo lost yesterday and he says he's retiring. So, you know, maybe he's just going to be a blemish on your record. But I think he'll come out of retirement, but after taking that loss, I swear you should have made that fight as soon as possible. You should have made that fight as soon as possible. But I understand situations are situations. One thing you can never control in life is the outcome. But for some reason, I just don't feel like Lomachenko destroyed him. I seen Lomachenko play around with him at times, but I mean, I don't know what was up with Rigondeaux not throwing there. He did not throw that left hand, so I don't know, man. But he didn't really get destroyed. He missed a lot of shots. That's Rigondeaux's style, low-key, ducking with his head low. That's what he always do. But Lomachenko was tapping him, hitting him on top of the head. And, you know, they both was fighting a little dirty. I think Rigondeaux had to fight dirty because he was so small. But, you know, it is what it is. The best man won last night. What's meant to be is meant to be. No regrets. Still got respect for Rigondeaux. He was a smaller fighter. You know, they seen that he wasn't gonna win. He didn't have no answers. His left hand wasn't connecting, and he wasn't throwing it. All he was using was the jab, and he was ducking down and holding. So why keep going? And then they took a point away from him. I mean, once they took the point away, it was really like, only way you're gonna be able to beat him is to knock him out. And I guess with his left hand hurting, like he say, there was no way in the world he was gonna knock him out with the right. And I'd like to thank you guys for coming to Q City World. I'll be doing a debate about this topic in a couple of hours with Love One, Hate One. We're gonna talk about this shit. I'm gonna study round 2 and really see if he used that left hand after the second round. And I don't think he did. I want you guys to go in there and check on it and tell me what y'all think. Look at it again. You know, it's hard to give a reaction, a post-fight review right after watching a fight. It takes time. So go ahead and look at that and tell me what y'all think and leave a comment. And before I go, let me get this all the way correct. I'm not saying that he didn't throw the right hand no more after the middle of the second round, but he rarely threw it. He didn't use it like a weapon, like we thought he would do. You know, so I don't know, man. Y'all go check that out. Go watch the second round and early third round and tell me what y'all think. I'd like to thank you guys for coming to Q City World again. Peace.